Hello there guys, and welcome back to once again another live stream here on the VB Thomas platform. Today we will be racing around the Silverstone track, as it will be the Formula 1 Racing League, the mini championship, as we're currently in round 4 here in Great Britain. We have got already 10 minutes into the qualifying. My apologies for the delay. That was because I pressed the wrong button on my computer and my whole screen was I don't know what was up with my screen, but it wasn't right. So we have got 20 people in the lobby today, which is absolutely amazing. That is something we have been seeing from a Formula 1 Racing League quite often already in the last couple of seasons. We're currently on board with Butler, who is on a fast one at the moment in the Ferrari car. His teammate Apex Joe all the way in P16, currently in the pit lane. And Butler seems to be on a fast one of 126.6 at the moment. Will that be his best time? I don't think it will be, because he's draining all of the ERS he's got already here before coming into Megats and Baggots. Yo, Quali Ben. Jonas, how are you doing, mate? Apparently, Mr. Apex Joe has got a qualifying ban, and I think that was for not showing up last week or showing up too late. I couldn't remember quite well. Or did he have an incident? We don't know. Apex Joe, you might be able to tell us something more about that. As Butler is coming around the last couple of corners here in Sector 3. In a very difficult sector to nail, as you definitely need to floor the throttle as soon as possible to be able to have a better speed coming out of those corners. And Butler improves by 36 thousandths, if I'm not mistaken, and that will be good for a P6 with a 126.663. Improving one position on Geldy. Let's go all the way to the back of the grid, as we've got Foxy on the fast one coming around Sector 1 at the moment, entering Sector 2. As there is a Mercedes car on the inside. We weren't able to see it into Cobb's corner. A very fast right-hander, which is actually going to be turn 9. Then we've got turn 10, 11, 12, which is obviously a Megats and Baggots. Very common, well, not common, but a very well-known place for most of us Formula 1 fans, however you want to call it. Into turn 15, a fast right-hander. And that will be Sector 3 starting. Well, Sector 3 started a long time ago, but that is the first corner of Sector 3, of course. It was too late indeed. Oh, you get a qualifying ban for getting too late into the lobby? That is... I'm not going to say that's insane, because I respect it, but... man, I only thought it was because you didn't show up. Skies coming around the last corner in a couple of seconds though, so it just has to nail this turn 16 and 17 first. And we've got turn 18, that fast right-hander. Watch out for the curb on the inside. You definitely, like the Williams did right there, definitely don't want to touch the curb as aggressive as some would. That means you sometimes crash out of that corner, because you lose a little bit of traction. Sky seems to be going on another one. He's saved a lot of ERS in the tank to be able to go for another one. He hasn't set a time yet, but Sky's being one of the faster drivers. I would expect him to be somewhere into the top 5. We're currently seeing Flip, Angry Guns. Both of the drivers haven't really been there over the last couple of races, especially not last season. I remember them from Division 1 and Division 2, of course. And Angry Guns wasn't really there. He was in the Alfa Romeo car back then. I think Flip was a Ferrari driver for Div 2, if I'm not mistaken, or Div 1. That could also be the thing. But let's see if Skies is going to be able to put himself in front of those guys. Into Megas and Beckett it goes. No curb is taken by Skies. There's a little bit of an awkward line coming through Megas and Beckett, as you can see. Taking a lot of curb on the exit though, which is great. And Skies entering the last sector. A lot of ERS will be drained here down the straight. Also a DRS opportunity for most of the guys when coming around. Well, coming out of Megats and Baggots. And then, of course, you've got turn 15. A good overtaking spot for many of the guys, as you will be able to throw it down the inside or around the outside, however you like it. You just need to have a good traction coming through the corner. Skies putting himself in P10, right in front of his teammate with a 126.842. Sean seems to be on a fast one too. He is up on his time by 2 tenths. That will place him somewhere around the P13, which is only going to be one place. Matko with a 127.4. A surprising result by the Alpine driver. But I think Sean up by 7 tenths. That will put him somewhere around the top 10. So he just needs to pressure a little bit more. Well, push a little bit more is what I should say. Turn 16 and 17, very tricky as I said before. You definitely want to touch the curb on the inside to have better rotation coming through the corner into turn 18. He puts himself in P7, a good result by Sean MC, putting a 126.6. And I think the reserve driver Hammer is going to be able to put a better result on the table. He's usually one of the faster guys here in F1 RL. And a very surprising result is P. Tomo, currently in P10. Only a 126.8. He is our championship winner of last season. Of course, of Division 2. I'm not too sure who won Division 1. I think Jay Clark is definitely not to be underestimated. He just put a 125.7. There's only 3 drivers putting themselves into a 125. As that will be Jay Clark, Brad Races, and Sheepy Kev. Itomo has to watch out because there's a fast Ferrari coming right up. That will be Butler, of course, because Apex Joe is still in the pit lane for having a qualifying ban. Dunsby is still in the pit lane. I don't think Tomo will go for another one. Sean will not either. It's Jay Clark on a fast one at the moment. He's not up in his time entering Sector 2. He's down by about 1.5 tenths. And what will the British driver do? I think he is British though. Looking at his name, Jay Clark. That's one of the most difficult British names I've ever heard. No, like, for example, Harry Maguire. That is the most British name I've ever heard. I swear to God, Harry Maguire. Ooh, and Jay Clark comes back into the pit. So will any of the top 2, well, of the top 3, be able to beat that time? Brad Races coming around at turn 15. Sean retires from the session in the pit lane. He's not going to be able to perform anymore after coming into the pits. There's only 1.5 more minutes in the qualifying. When drivers come into the pits right now, they won't have time to come out again, put a night lap, and then go for a fast lap. So let's go on board with Brad Races into turn 1, into turn 2 right now. Full throttle, and then we've got turn 3, hard braking zone to the right, 9 degrees corner. Then you've got turn 4, hard braking zone to your left. And then go full throttle, touching the curb on the inside into turn 5. Then we've got turn 6 coming right up. A long left-hander, but you do need to touch the brakes a little bit to be able to make something work. Lift a little bit into turn 7. And then we've got turn 8, which is that fast right-hander. A lot of curb on the inside, as you can basically cut the corner a little bit. I think they changed that. It wasn't there at the beginning of the game release. The curb on the entry, there was just a line, but they made a curb out of it. Into Megas and Beckets, turn 10, turn 11, turn 12, turn 13, and then we've got turn 14 being the last corner of Megas and Beckets. There's a Haas driver on the right side. As he's leaving enough space for the guys to get past. That is probably Hammer, because Youngie already retired from the session. Here comes Brad Races into that fast right-hander. Has to watch out, loses the car, but recovers. But he won't be able to improve, I'm afraid, after that little snap there. Neither will Sheepy Kev apparently, and Brad Races was definitely going to be able to improve if he didn't have that snap. He was only 2 tenths down on his time. Butler not up on his time. Angry Guns might be up on his time, and he is indeed up on his time. He puts himself in P4 with a 126.1. 3 drivers remaining in the top 3. Well, there is always going to be 3 drivers in the top 3, of course, but with a 125, only 3 drivers in the lobby. Foxy coming across the line with a 126.4. Geldy might be up on his time into turn 15. There's a car right up ahead, goes off the grass to leave enough space for Geldy to get past, of course. Geldy might be up on his time, though. No, he won't be, I'm afraid. A 126.8, 1 tenth down on his time. Matko Pitomo is the one to look at. Pitomo is the one to look at, our championship winner from last season. Oh, Oh, he's out of ERS. Never mind. He's not going to be up on his time. Skies might be up on his time. I don't think so. I don't think so. Almost invalidates coming through turn 17. And he improves by 2/10, as that will be good for 2 more positions. Skies putting himself in P10 with a 126.6. Rhino Hussey, and he loses the car coming into turn 18. I think we've seen that Williams driver do it before, but that will be your qualifying here in Formula 1 racing with a Rhino Hussey coming down the line. There's one more driver in the pit lane, that will be Butler, and he has parked his car in the pit lane. So our qualifying is over here in Formula 1 Racing League, the mini championship round 4 around Silverstone. This will be the results of tonight. I'm going to delete my camera real quick. There we go. Jay putting himself on pole with a 125.7. Brad races in P2 and Sheepykev in P3. Only 2/10 away from the Mercedes driver, but those 2/10 were not enough to put himself on pole. Were enough to put himself on pole. Angry Guns in P4, Butler in P5, Foxy in P6, Flip in P7, Hammer in P8, Sean in P9, a surprising P9 from Sean there. And Skies in P10. Further, we've got Geldi, Matko, Tomo, Rhino Hussey, X, and then our drivers who didn't put a qualifying lap on the board. Those are 5 drivers, actually, being Apex Joe, Chef Badger, Youngie, Dunsby, and Widget. Strategy-wise, we are probably looking at a soft medium or a medium-hard strategy for most of the guys. Maybe they want to choose the harder compound at the beginning of the race, making it a medium soft or a hard medium strategy. I think starting on the soft on the medium tires, you can still see what kind of way you want to go. If you want to go onto the hard tires, if they don't last more than 50% of the race, or if you want to go onto the soft tires, if they do last more than 50% of the race, you just have to see what works best for you as a racing driver. If you have a lot of tire wear throughout the race, you're usually gonna tend to go from mediums to hards. If you don't have a lot of tire wear, you want to go from mediums to softs, as the softs are the fastest tire on this track. So are they on any track, actually. Chef Badger apparently joined the session, but I don't think there's enough room for that driver to actually race, is there? Just gonna have a quick look in the Discord if I can find anything about that, whether he's racing or not. Let me have a quick look. Oh, we've got 5 red lights already. I kind of forgot that there was no formation lap. 5 red lights here in Formula 1 Racing, and off we go. It seems like Brett Race is already going down the inside of Jay Clark right there. Is he going to make it work? Jay Clark going a little bit too deep, touching the grass, but he recovers, and Sheepykev takes B2 from Brad Races. Brad Races, does he go down the inside? No, Sheepykev has a pretty good start there off the line. And now Butler is trying to make the overtake on Brad Races. He already made up a position on Angry Guns. Here comes Flip into P6. Oh, and Sean is having a good move on the Alfa Romeo driver right there. Foxy getting overtaken by Sean MC. Sean MC going from P9 to P7 at the moment. Sheepykev taking P2 again from Brad Races. And now Butler finds his way down the inside into turn 7, making the overtake on the Red Bull driver. Beautifully done by Butler. Might want to go back on board with Sean MC as he's getting overtaken from behind by Geldi. Look at that. Geldi is backing out of it. Some beautiful sportsmanship-like driving from the Aston Martin driver. You know, Sean is trying to find his way through the field here. Foxy is his next target. We've already got a yellow flag all the way at the back of the grid. Hammer dropped back 12 positions. He went all the way from P8 to P18 at the moment. Well, he was in P20 before, but because of Aches crashing out, he dropped back all the way to P19. Here comes Geldi around the outside of Sean MC. What a bad view I gave you there. MC defending the position now from the McLaren drivers, who might want to go back on board with Sheepykev, who's going around the outside of Butler right there. Butler not giving up though. He's going to try it again into turn 1, or will it be Brad Races? Trying to make the overtake down the inside. Has the outside line right now on Butler. Here they come. Oh, and the Red Bull driver makes the overtake down the inside. Butler not giving up though. Oh, he's down the inside. Look at that, Butler. He's leaving enough space for the Red Bull driver to get past around the outside though. Here comes Brad Races making the overtake. Side by side they go into turn 6. but it will be Butler ahead of the Red Bull driver. Will it be a switchback? No, it won't be. Brad races backs out of it, as there is quite some feisty battle going on here in P5 and P6. A yellow flag in Sector 1. That will be Dunsby coming into the pits. There's a little bit of a DRS train here, all the way from P9 to P11. No, from P9. No, from P5. From P3. No, from P2 to P7. Rhino Hussey now on the tail of Sean. Oh, he's going around the outside. Sean just leaving enough space for the Red Bull driver to get past. He just wants to have a good exit coming out of turn 15. And you do have that on the inside. Look at that, Sean keeping the position from the Red Bull driver. Although Rhino Hussey's going to back out of it. Beautifully done there by Rhino Hussey. He acknowledged that he was not going to get past if he threw it down the inside. Just waiting to make a move into turn 1, into turn 2, or into turn 3. Maybe draining a little bit of ERS down the straight here. Get a yellow flag in Sector 1. That will be... I couldn't see who it was. Rhino Hussey with a late move. But Sean defends the inside line. Beautifully done. Well, the outside line now as the inside line. Oh, and Skies drops back all the way to P16. There's some interesting battles going on here. Matko around the outside of the Ferrari driver. And now Tomo with a two-way overtake. Tomo with a two-way overtake. Goes down the inside with the use of DRS and makes the overtake on two people at the same time. Apex Joe having a battle with Matko around the outside. He goes. Here comes the Ferrari driver. Gets a little bit of a tap also from the Mercedes driver right there. Widget going a little bit too deep into turn 8. Well, coming out of turn 8. Now Apex Joe gained 2 positions in total already here throughout this race. But he wants those 2 extra positions on Matko and Tomo up ahead. Apex Joe, who has done some great practice in these last couple of weeks, trying to get back into that top 10 of Division 2. Will it be Matko making the overtake? Yes, indeed, it will be. And let's have a quick look what tires everyone is on. So we've got our top 3 running a different strategy than everyone else. Jay Clark starting on the soft tires, Sheepy Kev on the medium tires, and Butler on the soft tires. Where we've got all the other drivers who I'm not mentioning are on the hard tires. And then we've got Foxy on the mediums, Widget and Skies both on the softs. Here comes Tomo trying to make the overtake though. He was looking for it, but he backed out of it again. And then we've got Aix all the way at the back of the grid with medium tires. He did just come into the pits though. And something really interesting is that Jay Clark is not really taking a big lead on Sheepy Kev at the moment, even being on the faster tire. Let's go on board with Apex Joe here. No, we want to go on board with Tomo, as he's almost going to try and make the overtake on Matko. I think with the DRS coming out of Maggots and Baggins, he will definitely get a shot making the overtake into turn 15. And so will Rhino Hussey, I think, right on the tail of Geldy as they're coming through Maggots and Baggins at the moment. A good exit out of turn 15 will give him such a benefit, but Geldy has a good line. Look at that line from Geldy. And that will definitely give him the position again. Although Rhino Hussey has a lot of straight line speed. He has a lot of straight line speed. Down the inside he goes with the DRS. And Geldy has to back out of it. Another yellow flag in Sector 2. That will be X once again, I'm afraid. Or is that Chef Badger? Oh, and the Red Bull driver goes into the wall. Rhino Hussey out of the race. And that will be our first safety car here in Silverstone tonight. Rhino Hussey is out of the race. The Red Bull driver putting himself into the wall, unfortunately. And Matko getting a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Hammer almost crossing the line there. Had to watch out. And who is and who isn't coming into the pits? Butler and Jay Clark both not coming into the pits. Neither is Sheepy Kev, Brett Races, Angry Guns, Flip, Foxy, Geldy, Sean, and Youngie in the top 10. And then we've got Tomo, Matko, Apex Joe, Widget, and Hammer all coming into the pits. Hammer, how did he get into the pits? How did he get into the pits? No. Guys, here's the thing. He already crossed the line and was far up ahead of that pit entry. I have no idea what he's done, but he got back into the pits. Record that, clip that. I don't know whoever watches this live stream, but That is not correct. I think he does some reverse shit. I don't know. One more laps to go here in Silverstone tonight, as the top 3 is probably going to try and run away from Brad Races, but that does explain why Brad Races lost 2 positions early in the race, because he is going on the long run with these tires, meaning his tires are going to be a little bit slower at the beginning of the race, but at the end of their stint it's going to be way faster. Chef Badger has left the session as he is all the way at the back of the grid. Safety car coming in this lap. And X will not be able to get back to that safety car group. Jay Clark leading this safety car restart on the soft tires. And he's already going. Sheepy Kev got caught sleeping a little bit there. 7/10 behind the Mercedes driver. And off they go. Green flags and go, go, go. Brad Races trying to get past the Ferrari driver as soon as possible. Brad Races, who is on those hard tires, but they do get a little bit faster at this point during the race, because they're already on those tires for 6 laps now, and you know, tires wear off quite quickly here around Silverstone. Here's the thing, they wear off quite quickly, but you can go on them for a long stint. That is a problem with the mediums or the softs or the hards. Like, they don't, once they reach a certain point, they don't wear out as quickly. So during the first few laps, for example, going onto the soft tires, you're going to wear out quickly. But then going into lap 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, how many more you want to go, they don't tend to wear out that fast. And that is where the hard tires are getting, you know, a little bit better, because you're racing on worn out soft tires. But the hard tires, they don't wear out at all. And the Mercedes driver seems to have crashed out. That is Widget all the way in sector 2. Now Brad Races has a good exit coming out of turn 14. Takes a lot of curb there. Down the straight he goes. Ear is wide open. No, he doesn't decide to go for it. He will be saving a little bit, and that is the smartest thing to do if you're in a group with 5 people, because the guy behind you most likely won't be using any ERS either. Let's go back to Sean here as he's caught up to Youngie. Youngie gaining 9 positions in total, but Sean already came into the pits, if I am not mistaken. He did not actually, so I'm not sure how Youngie got that good of a position, but of course Youngie, a very professional driver here in Formula 1 Racing League. And Matko goes down the inside of Sean. Sean might get overtaken by his teammate behind him too. Tomo making the overtake. I think Sean just let him go through. I think he acknowledged that Tomo was a little bit faster than him, but nothing has been excluded for Sean. He can still get into that top 10. As Matko is not one of the fastest drivers here in Formula 1 Racing League. Butler and Brad Races are going side by side apparently. Butler keeping the position from Brad Races, although Brad Races had a good exit coming out of turn 8 is what I should say. So that promises quite a bit. Yes, we do tend to see those hard tires getting faster at the moment. Butler being on the soft tires. Here they go into Meggets and Meggets. And this is really where you're going to see what tire is faster. Oh, and Butler is lagging all over the place. Down the straight they go. Does he have DRS already? Brad Races wants to get past as soon as possible. Apex Joe with a 3-second time penalty. That is obviously not that very great. Brad Races, here he comes. 2 positions. Well, lost 2 positions in total. And they're now also losing the toe of the top 2. Sheepy Kev still keeping the toe of Jay Clark. DRS enabled. So that means they're going to have the DRS coming out of turn 5. And I think there's 2 DRS opportunities here around Silverstone. One being after turn 5 and one coming out of Meggets and Meggets. Brad Races with a good exit coming out of turn 4 early on the throttle, and now he will make the overtake. Down the inside he goes. Beautiful overtake by Brad Racer. Butler trying to get back into the slipstream. And it seems like Angry Guns and Flip have both caught up to that top 4 position. I think Angry Guns being on the hard tires will definitely have the benefit on Butler. When will Butler come into the pits? There's still 18 more laps to go. Tomo just got past Metco. Down the inside into turn 8. Sean now getting a 3-second time penalty. As he's in a heated battle with Hammer. Hammer all the way in P14. We've got that Alpine driver being ghosted. Hammer, is he going around the outside? Yes, he is. Sean not really giving up too much of a battle here in this race here in Silverstone. I would say, Sean, bet a little bit more for your battles, mate. I mean, for your positions. Oh, it seems like Angry Guns went a little bit deep. Butler coming into the pits. Is he going onto the hard tires? I would assume so, because I don't think the mediums last that long, if I'm being honest. Jay Clark just got overtaken by Sheepy Kev here in Sector 3. Sheepy Kev is now taking the lead. Beautifully done by the Aston Martin driver. He's really stepping up his game, and I think he will definitely be able to give the Division 1 drivers a... Oh, no, wait, we're switching to one division only. So there is only going to be one division here next season in the Formula 1 Racing League. We do need a couple of more reserves, but as you can see, this grid is as clean as it could get. Nobody crashing out anybody. Of course, I'm not seeing everything on track, but from the things that I have seen, seems to be all clean. Flip now. Is he going to make a move into Cops Corner? I wouldn't assume so. After seeing what Hamilton did to Verstappen in Cops Corner there in 2021. Which he did indeed get a 10-second time penalty for, if I'm not mistaken. Was that in 2021? I don't think... Was it? I think it was, actually. Oh, and Jay Clark just got past GP Kev again in turn 15. Down the inside he went. Made the overtake. Soft versus mediums. Bobo just got past. Oh, and it seems like the Aston Martin now has the outside line. Or the inside line. Oh, Tomo going down the inside of Youngie. Yaldi now finding his way through the field. Gained 3 positions in total. And I thought he was going to be struggling after seeing him battle with Sean MC. But apparently he took a bit of a distance from the AlphaTauri driver. Got back into the top 10 and currently is in P8. Gained 3 positions in total. But Youngie, with the most amazing race he has had in a long time. I do think he went from last to first last season once in a race. He's gained 11 positions already. Went from P18 to P7 at the moment. Oh, Apex Joe trying to go down the inside of Matko. He does have a good exit though. Here comes the Alfa Romeo driver. What will Flip be doing? Because they're going to be coming out of Magnussen Baggins pretty soon. Flip with a fantastic exit out of turn 14. DRS wide open. The Sheepy Kev has taken the lead in the race again. Yellow flag in sector 1. That will be the Williams driver. X. Flip, who did have DRS but couldn't take that to his advantage. Didn't gain a single tenth on the McLaren driver. Down that straight. Let's get back to Geldy all the way in P8. The Austrian Stretch, a British driver. Trying to get back into the top 5. This track is so fun to commentate. No, mate, I don't think so. I think it's really boring. Because there's not many moves you can make throughout the field. But welcome, Stinky, in the chat. How are you doing, buddy? I think everyone just makes the overtake into turn 15. And the views are very bad, because if you go into this mode, like the broadcast mode is so bad around this track, I swear to God. This guy's going down the straight. The camera is too close to the cars, in my opinion. And what will the Alpine driver do here in Silverstone? Will he be able to capture his one of the first top 10s here in this mini championship? He's currently in P9, so I would say he's going to be able to. As Apex Joe just caught up. Oh, and there goes the Haas driver. A second safety car probably. Or don't we have a safety car? We don't have a safety car. How is that even possible? Hammer just murdered himself into the wall. And we're not having a safety car. Still 15 more laps to go. And this would be very beneficial for the medium tire runners. And Geldy just making the overtake around the outside of Youngie right there. And Jay Clark now coming into the pits. The soft tire runner probably choosing to go onto the mediums or the hard tires. And Regun's possibly able to make that overtake on Flip. Will he be able to make that overtake? Don't think so. Backside of it, but he will have the DRS down the straight. But will Flip have that DRS through because of that Alpine driver who is ahead of him? Or is that a Williams driver? Oh, Angry Guns has to watch out though. Almost lost the car there coming out of turn 4. And it's a very tricky corner to slam the throttle because it's such a low speed corner. And when you touch the throttle too soon, you're basically going to lose control over your car and yeah, you're going to spin into the wall, which is something that I think Hammer might have done coming out of Maggots and Maggots. Going into turn 14, you don't want to slam the throttle. You basically want to be a little bit gentle with it. And I saw him going into the wall very aggressively. Was that even in Maggots and Maggots? I don't think so. Wasn't that out of Cup's corner? I can't tell you exactly. A lot of guys behind each other. Let's have a quick look with the tires real quick, as we've got Sheepykev on the medium tires for 11 laps already. Tomo on the 7-lap old mediums. Not sure what his strategy was, but I think he came to the pits quite early during that first safety car. So he's on 7-lap old mediums. I think if he would have gone onto the hard tires, a couple of guys coming into the pits, that will be Geldy on the 11-lap old hards, and so will Youngie coming into the pits on 11-lap old hards. Apex Joe on 7-lap old softs will also come into the pits, and then Dunsby on 10-lap old hards also coming into the pits. Another opportunity for Matko down the straight. Skies, who seems to be struggling a little bit on the medium tires up ahead. Jake Clark has made the overtake. Matko taking too much grass. I think he's in the wrong gear, isn't he? He took that corner so weird. It looked like he was in the wrong gear, just into 5th, and then trying to turn isn't always a great idea. And he lost 2 seconds with that mistake. Angry Guns trying to catch up. Let's go back to Butler here, who's right behind the Mercedes driver. But the interesting thing about the Mercedes team is that they're now right behind each other. So Widget should keep Butler behind him for as long as possible. Butler will also be a little bit faster at the end of the race compared to Jay Clark, who is on 1-lap old mediums. And I think Butler just got past him with the use of DRS. Right the outside he went. It didn't look like Widget was trying any tricks, trying to keep the Ferrari driver behind him. Going board with Dunsby here. Dunsby doesn't have a single penalty, and many people having penalties at the moment. 5-6 for Matko as Dunsby makes the overtake around the outside of Sean. Sean having 3 seconds in total already. Widget having 9 seconds of penalties. Foxy having 3, Geldy having 5, probably from a speeding in the pit lane. We've got 3 seconds for Apex Joe and 3 seconds for X all the way at the back of the grid. Matko seems to have crashed out. Did Matko crash out? No, he didn't. He came into the pits. I thought there was a yellow flag. There is a yellow flag in Sector 1. And that will most likely be an Alfa Romeo driver. Will that be Skies? I think it will be. Geldy seems to be making the overtake on Matko. Of course, Matko just came out of the pit lane. He's also going to get overtaken by Dunsby and Sean, so he's dropped quite a few positions, if I'm being honest. He's going to have the benefit of the tires right now, but what tire is he even on? He's gone onto the medium tires, and Sean already on these mediums for 4 laps. So he came into the pits around lap 10, and will that be enough for the medium tires to last till the end of the race. Still 12 more laps to go after this one. Oh, and there comes Angry Guns into the pit. So is Brad Races, both drivers on 30-lap-old hards. Who will make the overtake? I think Tomo, Skies will too. No, Skies coming into the pits on 9-lap-old mediums. Nobody within 1 second of each other. And I agree with you. Stinky says the camera is bad. There's about 3 places to pass. That is true. One being turn 3, which is this corner. One being turn 6, 7, and 8, which you can see as a corner section. And then, of course, turn 15. And then maybe turn 16, also a good overtaking opportunity. And then, of course, the DRS. Yeah, there's quite a few overtaking spots, but just the camera is so bad. You can't imagine. Like, they really need to do something about the camera play in F1 24. I don't think that will be the case, but I would really assume, I would really appreciate if that would happen. Here comes Angry Guns with the use of the DRS down the inside. He goes off the Alfa Romeo driver and he makes the overtake. Beautifully done by Angry Guns, who doesn't have a single penalty yet. What will Brad Races be doing is he's going down the inside into turn 8, making the overtake on the Mercedes driver. Widget will not give up, still right the outside, but he was not alongside the Red Bull driver, so Brad Races was just able to come back onto the racing line. A 5-second time penalty for Sheepy Kev for pitting too fast, well, for speeding in the pit lane, as that will be a very sour penalty, especially during his battle with the Mercedes driver Jay Clark. Will he still be ahead of that Mercedes driver? I don't think so. Flip staying out on 15-lap-old hards. Sheepy Kev going onto the soft tires. So Jay Clark went from the softs to the mediums. And now Sheepy Kev will go from the mediums to the softs, of course. 10 laps on those soft tires. Stinky One in the chat says Silverstone was reworked, so we can hope the camera was adjusted. That is indeed big hopes for me. Sheepy Kev just came out of the pits right behind Butler. He will have the soft tires, so they will be faster at the end of the race, but he will... No, not at the end of the race, but right now they will be faster. Down the inside he goes, and Sean retires from the session in the pit lane. That will be a virtual safety car. Did Sean even retire in the pit lane? I don't think so. He retired in the wall, didn't he? I think he did. He did retire in the wall. What happened to Sean MC? I feel like I'm in an episode of Blue's Clues, like Blue's Clues, and I have to find the clues to know what happened. Oh my days! Apparently, in another league that Stinky commentates for, they had a driver pass in. Oh wait, a driver pass. Wait, what does that mean? We had a driver pass in Megas and Beckets. Yeah. Yo, Vinny, how are you doing, mate? How are you doing? No. So they had a driver pass someone else in Megas and Beckets. That is crazy. Jay Clark coming into the pits. So is Flip. Jay Clark on 4-lap-old mediums. Why is he coming into the pits? Oh no, it's a full safety car. Never mind. I didn't say a thing. I was already wondering, like, why is he coming into the pits for a virtual safety car? Sheepy Kev on the soft tires possibly gets saved here a little bit. Flip being on the soft tires, Jay Clark going onto the mediums. He still has another set of softs, doesn't he? Oh, that depends on how many softs you've used during the qualifying, though. Foxy coming into the pits. Everyone is coming into the pits at the moment. Widget, who's just gone onto the medium tires, might possibly overtake a couple of guys. Apparently Stinky says it was crazy risky, but was able to do it. Here's the thing. You need to be with 2 clean drivers to be able to make a overtake work. If you're a clean driver and the guy you're trying to make the overtake with on is a dirty driver, there's no way you're going to be able to make an overtake through Meggets and Beggets. But if both of you are clean as a bus, Well, a bus is not really clean. Hold up. Let me find another verb or another word. As clean as a toilet that's not been shit on. Okay. So if your boat as clean as a toilet that's not been shit on, you are gonna make a move into make it work 9 out of the 10 times, because you know that the driver next to you is gonna give you room. You're gonna give room to the guy next to you. It's just all happy days. But if you're with one or even two dirty drivers, there's no way you're gonna make that work, because the other guy says, fuck it, I'm going for it. And there goes Widget into the grass. Probably loses a position to the Haas driver. Yes, indeed he does. I am Vinny. How are you, mate? How are you? Oh, Widget going onto the grass again. And he's getting overtaken by both Dunsby and Geldy, letting them go through as they are both on the fresh soft tires. I'm still surprised that Jay Clark went onto the mediums, as there's 8 more laps to go after this one. Well, after the safety car comes into the pit, so maybe he didn't have a set of softs anymore. That could be the explanation. Domo also on fresh soft tires, so I think he will be able to battle with Jay Clark quite nicely there. Sky's moving up a couple of positions, and also Apex Joe moving up to P8. He's gained 8 positions in total, coming from P16. Butler dropping back all the way to P9. Possibly had a bad pit stop strategy, because he went all the way from P5 to P9. Dunsby and Widget both gaining 5 positions. Also Youngie gaining 6 positions, but I think he's just gone on to fresh tires. I'm not too sure what you mean, Stinky. I'm a bit confused with your comment. He's the part-time groundkeeper for this track. Vinny, by the way, Bunny, who are you in the league? Are you actually a Formula 1 Racing League driver? I'm not sure. I'm just lost on everyone's names on YouTube. Like, everyone just texting, and then I need to guess what driver they are in the race, because yeah, obviously your name doesn't look like anything here in this league. The Merc in the grass. Oh yeah. I know what you mean, Stinky. Yeah, it came so much later, so I was a bit confused on what you meant, but he's the lawnmower. He's the what do you call? Is that a concierge? Do you guys call it? Oh! Widget going into the back of Dunsby. Has to watch out right there. Yeah, I got the joke, Stinky. I just didn't get who you meant. That was the groundskeeper. How do you call people who do the cleaning in schools and stuff? Why is the safety car not coming into the pits yet? Oh, we're waiting for X. Yeah, stream delay. It's the worst, mate. It's the worst. I'm gonna look that up. Like that guy from The Simpsons, Willie, I think his name is. What does he do? Wait. Concierge. English. Caretaker, apparently. Janitor, that was the word I was looking for. How old are Apex tires? Not very old, mate. Not very old. They are 6-lap old. Medium tires. Lloyd. No, I meant janitor. Stinky, but custody. Yeah. For the new championship, for the new season, but opted out for this mini championship. Race name is Vindog. Oh right, Vindog. I remember you. You were the Williams driver last season, and I think it was Division 1, but I could be wrong. We're gonna be racing pretty soon. 7 more laps to go after this one when the safety car comes into the pits. GPKev having a 5-second time penalty is definitely doing him no good. He should have come into the pits to serve that 5-second time penalty and then... let me think. Should have come into the pits to serve the 5-second time penalty and go on fresh soft tires. I think that would have been a good strategy for GPKev. Now he's just going to have to serve that 5-second time penalty after the race, and it's definitely going to drop him a couple of positions. Because Flip is one of the faster guys here. Brad Races is too, although they are on 4-lap old mediums. Jay Clark will also be struggling making the overtake on Angry Guns and Brad Races to get back to GPKev, so I'm not too sure what to expect from this race. And will Apex Joe let his teammate go through? Butler, who was just in the chat, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, you were Div 2, Vinny. Were you? That is surprising. I thought I was commentating on the Div 1 race from you. Could be. I'm just so confused because there's 40 drivers I need to remember. It's just a bit too much. Although I know everyone except for... No, I actually know everyone from this race, I think. I think I've commentated on everyone already. Here they go. GPKev coming around the last corner. And off he goes. It's green flags and go, go, go. Flip got caught sleeping. Look at that. On the soft tires. He's catching back up right now. But Brad Races will try to make the overtake on a Flip. Down the straight into turn 3 they go. A little bit of VRS to be used by Brad Races. He's going down the inside, backs out of it, but brakes later. Here comes Brad Races around the outside. What will the Red Bull driver be doing? Around the outside, side by side they go, but Flip takes P2 again. Does me with a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Not sure what happened there. Brad Races, is he going down the inside, backs out of it again into turn 6. Also, Jay Clark making the aggressive overtake into turn 6. Down the inside there. Has the outside line into turn 8. And what a move from Jay Clark. Something we haven't seen too often here in turn 6 yet. Brad Races now trying to find his way past the Williams driver. Flip kept the position quite nicely before. But will he be doing the same here down the straight? I think Brad Races will drain every ERS he's got in the tank to keep. Well, to overtake Flip here. There's a good exit coming out of turn 14. A lot of ERS is used by Brad Races, so will Flip. Going back into the slipstream, going back around the outside, going back into the slipstream probably. Oh, what a switchback from Brad Races, but he won't keep the position. Well, he won't overtake the position. Butler seems to be having to make the overtake. Well, what kind of verb usage was that, Thomas? Butler making the overtake on Apex Joe, his teammate. I think Apex Joe just let him go through, if I'm being honest. Butler, who's obviously on faster tires. This guy is really pushing the limits to get the overtake on Tomo. Down the inside goes the German. Brakes a little bit later. Possibly pushes Tomo a little bit deeper. Wheel clinching between the both of them. Oh, there is my Wi-Fi. Yep. And that is something that I expected that was going to happen. It was just a question of when. Oh, I don't have an invite. That's right. Oh no, Apex Joe, you are a fucking legend. He's just sent me an invite. Apex Joe, you are a legend, mate. If you're listening, you are a legend. Thank you very much, Apex. Just gonna take a quick sip of water, and then we are ready to go again. Hammer just retired from the session, apparently. Oh no, they already retired from the session. Never mind. Tire-wise, we are looking at a lot of guys being close to each other. Look at that. Jay Clark caught up. The top four is running away at the moment. Geldy caught up to Matko, although I think he won't be able to get back into the top 10. Just depends on whether Youngie and Apex Joe are going to make it difficult for them. Youngie just made the overtake on Apex Joe. Down the inside, I think he got pushed wide though. Apex Joe most likely will report that. Around the outside goes Geldy. Apex Joe seems to be letting him go through. No, he doesn't. Geldy around the outside into Cop's corner. Will they make a Hamilton Verstappen move? No, they won't be. Oh, Apex Joe losing a position to Matko too. Matko around the outside has the inside line now in Megas and Baggets. But they keep it clean. Matko, Foxy. Having a good exit will definitely do him good. A lot of DRS is being used by Foxy down the straight. DRS wide open for Foxy and Apex Joe. Foxy going down the inside, but he backs out of it. Usually down the inside you want to make a move into turn 15. Now alongside Apex Joe. Apex Joe doesn't seem to be in his groove today. Oh, and Foxy goes into the gravel. Loses a couple of positions. Probably one to Widget too. And also one to his own teammate, the Alfa Romeo team, both in P14 and P15. Not very great, but the top 4 is still battling for that race win. Well, Sheepy isn't really, because he's got that 5-second time penalty, unless he gains 5 seconds on these guys right now. But Jay Clark down the inside into turn 6, and also Brad Races having a feisty battle. Down the inside he goes. Sheepy not giving up though. Sheepy not giving up. Around the outside. They're going side by side through turn 8. Into Cop's corners they go. Will he be Brad Races? Will it be Sheepy Brad Races goes back onto the racing line. Letting Sheepy go first. But that is most likely not the ideal strategy, as Jay Clark, one of the faster guys here tonight, is looking to make the overtake on Brad Races pretty soon. And I think it would have been better for Brad Races if he was first. Then Jay Clark had to make the overtake on Sheepy first, although he played the strategy game here with the DRS. Now Jay Clark trying to make the overtake around the outside. Sheepy losing 2 positions down that straight. Oh, side by side they go. Jay Clark down the inside. Brad Races around the outside. Not much room given by Jay Clark. Down the inside right there. Jay Clark taking the lead. Brad Races still side by side with them. Almost got him taken out. Sheepy had to watch out though. A lot of DRS is being used by Sheepy has to watch out. Now Flip is trying to catch up to the 3 of them. Sheepy obviously, that 5-second time penalty is going to do him no good, because he's going to drop back all the way to P6. Coming from P1 in this race, he could have gotten a race win. Brad Races at the moment, trying to catch back up to Jay Clark. 2 more laps to go after this one. So we're currently entering Sector 2 of lap 24. There's 26 laps in total to be driven here in Silverstone. Usually there's only 52. But today that will be 26, as we're racing with 50% of the total race distance. Silverstone being a very long track. Oh, and he gets 3-second time penalty on top of it, so he's going to even lose more positions, isn't he? No, Dunsby is too far behind. Brad Races went onto the gravel, so I think he lost a bit of time to Jay Clark. Not too much though, as he caught back up thanks to the DRS. Both Angry Guns and Butler really need to push a little bit more if they want to gain that position from Cheapy because these guys are running away at the moment. Back of the grid, we are looking at Foxy trying to make the overtake on Apex Joe here. Both of the drivers very, well, not very consistent drivers, but very fast drivers, and I think that's where they're kind of losing a lot of positions, not being consistent enough. Apex Joe sometimes making a mistake, so is Foxy, as we could have seen before a couple of minutes ago, as he went up to the gravel, just let everyone go through, and then tries to climb back up the ladder. Into turn 6, Flip just got into the top 3. Sheepy trying to make a switchback work. Here he comes around the outside. But Flip has a better exit coming out of turn 7, of course. Sheepy is he going to drain everything he's got in the tank? Doesn't look like it. Seems to be saving a little bit more. The top 2 still battling for that race win. But we are currently in the penultimate lap of this Silverstone Grand Prix. Jay Clark leading with Brad Races in P2 and Flip in P3. I think it's more likely going to be a battle for P2 than a battle for P1. Though Flip is not catching up really. Brad Races is actually catching up down the straight quite a bit. As you can see, Brad Races really gaining a lot of tenths down that straight. Into the last chicane they go. Then they're going into the last lap of this race. We've got a battle between Jay Clark and Brad Races. DRS is not being enabled for Brad Races, but he's got still a lot of ERS in the tank. Jay Clark is a little bit less. I'm not sure if Brad Races is listening, but Jay Clark doesn't have too much ERS left in the tank, mate. About 20%. And a 3-second time penalty for X on top of it. Brad Races will have the DRS right now. He will probably wait for that DRS down, well, after Maggots and Baggots. I wouldn't assume he's going to make the overtake right now. ERS is being saved by Brad Races. Look at that, about 50% for the Red Bull driver. And Flip has taken a distance from these two. He doesn't want to interfere too much, although I would assume he would want to interfere, because that means he would get a potential P2. Brad Races really sticking to the toe of Jay Clark here. Into the penultimate sector they go. First they need to tackle Maggots and Baggots, of course. Brad Races really needs a good exit out of Maggots and Baggots to make the overtake into turn 15. Beautiful line from the Red Bull driver. Coming out of turn 15, goes too fast on the throttle, but no problem for the Red Bull driver. Drains every ERS he's got. Drains all of the ERS he's got. Down the straight, down the inside he goes. Here comes Brad Races for the race win. The Red Bull driver is not giving up. Neither is Jay Clark. Side by side they go into turn 16. The penultimate sector. No, the last sector here in Silverstone. Side by side they go. Brad Races not giving up. And it will be Jay Clark, if I'm not mistaken, taking the race win here in Silverstone. Beautiful racing from the both of them. Angry Guns takes P4. Sheepycalf drops back to P6. And what will Youngie be doing? He doesn't... Well, he gains 2 positions actually. Almost loses the car. Has to watch out. Gains a position to Tomo and Dunsby. Geldy also gaining a couple of positions. At the back, we're looking at a little bit of a battle between Foxy and Widget. But no positions is being gained by Widget right there. For DNFs here tonight in Silverstone. And this was a really close battle between Butler and Flip too, actually. Flip, who I think got a penalty. We were not able to analyze that, I'm afraid. Maybe after the race. X still has to come across the line. He's in the last sector at the moment. Take your time, buddy. Take your time. And I mean, I'm not going to blame him. But he has done a consistent job. He's been more consistent than Sean, Chef Badger, Hammer, and Rhino Hussey, if I'm being honest. Because otherwise he wouldn't have gotten P16, but P20, right? Aha! And that will be the end of this Silverstone Grand Prix. Apex Joe already left the session. Driver of the day will be Youngie 3. He indeed gained a lot of positions after his qualifying ban. And let's have a quick look. This will be the results of this Grand Prix. Jay Clark getting the race win with also the fastest lap on top of it. So he will be scoring the maximum amount of points, getting a qualifying pole, getting the race win and getting the fastest lap. Brad Races in P2 and Flip in P3. Further, we've got Butler, Angry Guns, Sheepycalf, Youngie, Geldy, Tomo, and Metco in the top 10. Then we've got Dunsby, Apex Joe, Foxy, Widget, Skies, and X finishing the race. Sean, Chef Badger, Hammer, and Rhino Hussey unfortunately did not make it till the end of the race. But congratulations to the top 3. You have driven a great, amazing race. Flip also coming from P7 to P3, which is 4 positions gained. But your driver of the day will be Youngie, coming all the way from P18 to P7. So congratulations to those drivers. Well done, Flip. I'm seeing you in the chat, mate. Well done, mate. Well job. Well job. Good job. Well done. That is what I should say. So these are the standings for the admins if they need them. And all I'm going to be saying for now, guys, is thank you very much for watching the live stream. My apologies if I'm sometimes struggling with finding words. It's always the end of the week. And I've been streaming from Monday to Thursday. So Thursday is unfortunately the last day of the week, which is, you know, I'm always a little bit exhausted. So guys, my apologies for the technical issues too. It's out of my control. So I won't be able to do anything about it until the new game comes out. And that will be the end of this live stream. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to be seeing you next week if there is a race. And all I can say for now is see you next week. Peace out.